What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the channel. While I've been live streaming Diablo 4, I've been getting lots of questions about posting up my build for my Whirlwind Barb. This Barb is just not dialed in yet. It's not ready to go, so I will put out a full build guide on it as soon as I get things all the way dialed in. However, I did want to put out a few tips and tricks of what people are asking me the most, particularly about the Whirlwind Barb. Now, first things first, the Whirlwind Barb is very, very gear dependent. It's going to be very difficult to start off leveling this particular build, and is just not going to shine until you get some gear. So with that in mind, I mean, obviously we all want to spin. Most of you all that know me and my gameplay in ARPGs, I love spin to win or channeled type builds, and the Whirlwind Barbarian is no different. However, with its dependency on gear, you could even go as far as to level as something else until you put the set together. So, like, I personally went with Hammer of the Ancients. Hammer of the Ancients does not have a lot of gear dependencies. There's, like, one main legendary aspect, and you can get that from a dungeon in Act 2. So it's very, very easy to put a leveling set together for Hammer of the Ancients. And that is what I personally did, and it's what I probably would suggest to most players. Now, obviously, we want to start spinning, right, as soon as we can. And I gotta say right up front, these ring aspects are not optional at all. You definitely need the Bold Chieftains. Whenever you cast a shout, its cooldown is reduced per nearby enemy up to a maximum of 6 seconds. Additionally, you're definitely going to want your shout skills generate Fury per second while active. These are what's going to sustain your Whirlwind. It is the bread and butter of the build. Plus, you know, shouts are good, right? So keep your shouts up as often as possible. You're going to be able to do that with these two aspects. So you get your Fury generation and a lot of shout cooldown off of that. Now, additionally, you can roll cooldown on 2 pieces of gear. I don't have it dialed in yet, but you can get cooldown reduction on your helmet. Additionally, you can get cooldown reduction on your amulet. So you're going to want CDR on both of those to help that shout cooldown. And once your shouts are up, of course, you're going to keep spinning. So while you've got your shouts active, spinning is going to be just absolutely constant. Now, additionally, with Gores, lots of people have been asking about Gores, particularly with some of the big bomb shots, even with just my leveling set here that I've been able to put together of damage shots in the millions. And the key to Gores is you have to release. The Whirlwind explodes after it ends, dealing up to 26% of the total base damage dealt to surrounding enemies as fire damage. Now, if you don't release your Whirlwind, Gores is not going to go off. So if you run out of Fury, you're not going to get the bomb. So make sure that you're releasing your Whirlwind to get that explosion going off. And it's a very, very noticeable difference once you start doing this and using it right. Now, getting into the other basic roles you're going to be looking for. As I mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention, but you are going to be able to get Fury cost reduction on your boots. Additionally, Fury cost reduction on your amulet. Those are 2 hot rolls you're going to want to have as well. Of course, with the reduced cost of Fury, the Whirlwind is going to stay with your uptime more and more and more. Now, additionally, on the rings, you see resource generation. This is one of my big weaknesses right now. I just don't have it set up. But you can get resource generation rolled on your rings. So your best in slot rings are going to be crit chance, crit damage, Fury generation, and vulnerable damage. Now, this is going to bring us into other roles. Like, what kind of roles are you looking for on your gear? And vulnerable damage is going to be our bread and butter. So anywhere where you can have vulnerable damage, you're going to want it. After that, you want to follow the basic rule of close is greater than core, which is greater than bleed, which is greater than slow. So close, core, bleed, slow in those exact priorities are going to give you the most and highest percentage modifiers. And then more importantly, before you get your set put together and you're not happy with how long your Whirlwind lasts, it's kind of a no-brainer that you just don't take Unbridled Rage. Unbridled Rage is doubling the cost of your Whirlwind, so if you're doing a Whirlwind build and you're struggling with Fury, then don't be using Unbridled Rage. It's a pretty easy choice here on what to take. Whirlwind, of course, like I'm playing the Bleed Whirlwind. There's also the stacking available from the Violent Whirlwind. Depending on which of your Whirlwinds you take, if you're taking the Bleed Whirlwind, then you can easily take Gushing Wounds. Additionally, if you are using Hammer of the if you're using Wrath of the Berserker versus Call of the Ancients, Call of the Ancients, if you're using that, then you're probably going to want to focus on your bleeds and go at Gushing Wounds. Wrath of the Berserker, you can also take Unconstrained. So this is going to increase Berserk's maximum duration by 5 seconds and increase its damage bonus. So if you're focusing your Whirlwind on the Violent Whirlwind, then you're going to want to focus on that berserking percentage and staying berserk as long as possible. So that would be the obvious choice for you there at the bottom. But until you get your Fury generation dialed in, just don't take Unbridled Rage, and you're not going to do as much damage, but you are going to be able to keep your Fury up much longer. So if you have any other questions about barbing, let me know down in the comments below. I'll definitely be doing a full build video on my Barbarian as soon as I get it dialed in. However, I don't want to throw a video out just to throw it out. I want to get my barb set up where I can give you all a full example of the power it will bring. But that will do it for now. Thanks a ton for watching, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.